Alright, so I've done about 16 miles today, and I stopped at a shelter and filtered my water and had a campfire conversation, ate dinner, and decided to hike on in the dark a little bit. I haven't decided how far I'm going to go, but already just a mile or two in, it's pretty spooky. I spent most of the day listening to a podcast about Bigfoot sightings. It seemed like today was the one where they were talking about all the aggressive Bigfoot that were trying to carry off children and that would get shot or wounded, and then the family would leave, and then they'd come back to find the house rummaged through and tore up in a primitive rage. So I was hearing a lot of creepy Bigfoot stories, and now I'm hiking in the darkness, and I don't know if there are a lot of sightings around here close to this area, but anywhere in the Appalachian Mountains I feel like could be possible Bigfoot habitat, and it's very unnerving being out here alone. I got Bandit with me, but we're hearing a few little animals rustle around, and haven't heard anything big yet, but I'm also worried about bears. It's not just Bigfoot, you know. But it's just creepy hiking in the dark here. And I don't know. I might stop at the next flat spot available. Maybe just set up camp pretty soon, because I don't know, I'd like to get some miles in. I'd like to do a few miles in the dark while it's cool, when I'm not under the heat of the sun. But yeah, I definitely think 30 miles is out of the question for today. I don't want to do 12 miles in the dark, but I might do 5 miles or something like that. I just heard something. I think it was a barred owl. This is where all the millipedes take their naps and sleep for the night. So I've been seeing a lot of animals on the trail, while night hiking. It was really weird. I'm going to tell the account while I can remember it. So the first thing I noticed was downhill on the ridge. There was something down there, and it made a bunch of rustling, and then I saw the eye shine. It was just far enough to where I could only see the eye shine. But it ran a little bit and turned around, and then moved a little bit and then turned around again. It sounded very large. I'm inclined to believe it was either a bear or a deer. But just a little further up the trail, there were 4 other eye shines and animals that got spooked and ran downhill. They had very hard impact with the ground as they were running. Like I'm guessing it might have been 4 or 5 deer, but maybe it was Bigfoot. I don't know. Maybe it was a group of Bigfoot. But I think what happened next was pretty strange. Another animal came running down the hill straight towards me and Bandit. And it was a hunting dog. It was like a coon dog or something, and whatever it was, it had like this blinking red thing on its collar, and I don't know if that was like a tracker, a radio tracker, and there might have been some night hunting, poaching stuff going on here, or maybe it was a electronic fence, and the dog saw this bunch of deer and took off. But the way my mind works was a sick imagination. my thought was that these things, these eyes that I saw that the dog was chasing, some type of pale anthropoid type creature that lives in the subterranean realm. I just imagine these gangly, pale things with short arms tucked underneath them and long, spindly legs and arched backs running through the woods, and their only fear is an irrational fear of dogs, which is why I haven't been attacked by them or why they were staying away from the coon dog. That's where my imagination took me, and it was kind of freaky. But anyway, this dog picked up the scent of these deer and took off down the hill, baying as he went. And that was the only sound I heard as I carried on in my hike. Bandit was pretty calm. Then the next thing was there was some type of eye shine up on the hill again. And when I looked at it with my headlamp, I could see the eye shine for a little while, but then whatever it was, it turned its head or it closed its eyes. It kind of blipped off the radar, and I lost track, and I didn't know where it was because it didn't move. It just kind of closed its eyes. It didn't want to get blinded by the light, and I figured that could have been anything. I didn't tell him what it was. It could be a deer laying down, bedding down, or it could have been a bear. Could have been a Bigfoot. Could have been an owl. I didn't really have a good reference of how big this thing was because it wasn't moving around and stomping. I just know that it had pretty big eyes, like standard eyes, either like, as big as mine or the dog's or bear's eyes. I guess most animals have the same size eyes out here between the deer, the bear, a man, and owls have bigger eyes in comparison to their bodies, but they're still about the same size eyes as you and me, I guess. But I don't know what it was. Just some creepy eye shine all through the night. And, I mean, it's funny because this is the most wildlife I've seen on the trail so far, and I don't know what any of it is because all I see is the eyes. Can't make out what the animal is. But there's been a lot going on. Potential bear habitat and deer. Who knows? It's been a really big mystery. But that's kept this night hike interesting. Not knowing what's out there, but knowing clearly something is out there. More than one thing. Plenty of things are out here right now. It's kind of spooky, but at the same time, it's interesting. It's good to see that there are wildlife out here. They're just all smart enough to wait until night to start roaming around. Stay away from the filthy hikers during the day. Alright, I'm going to hike on. I think I'm getting close to a road. Hopefully there'll be a campsite just before or just after. Whew. I tell you what, Bandit. We're a little over a quarter of a way on the trail. Hey, come here. I'm making a proposal here. Tell you what. If you and me, we make it all the way. Come here. Hey, listen. This is important stuff. Sit. Sit. Hey. If you and me, we make it all the way, I'll buy us both steak dinner. How's that sound? Steak? Steak? You want a steak? Okay, well, first you gotta get to Katahdin. or at least the closest you can get as a dog. Come here, Bandit. Bandit, come here. Stay. Stay with me, you're hiking with me. Oh, jeez. And the valuable lesson of the day is don't have temper tantrums with cheap hiking poles. I just made things a lot harder on myself. Being an idiot. It's been a rough day today, and I pretty much spent from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I was hanging out at one of the shelters along the way, and I'm out here night hiking again. And I really like that because I do see a lot more wildlife, and that was a new amphibian, a new type of salamander I hadn't seen on the trail yet. And yesterday I saw a wood frog, but I got a little amphibian and reptile guide, and I've been kind of checking them off my list as I see them as I go. It's kind of neat. But I caught that guy and let him crawl around on my hand a little bit. I'd better wash my hands later. But it was just cool. Cool getting to see something like that. I really do like night hiking. It's a little bit a nerve-wracking thing, but I do like to night hike. It's a whole different world. It's an alien world out here at night. All the different creatures come out to play. No. Come on. Come on. Bandit, come on. No murdering today. Shout. Don't eat it, Bandit. Where'd he go? Back. Don't eat him. Stop. I see him. Get you back to the trees, buddy. No! You're just a hopping and die. Where did I find you? Over here somewhere? Wow! Alright, back to the woods. Well, now you like me. Here. Get off! Get off! Black eyes and X on the back. I think I could identify you in a heartbeat once I get my book out. But you should really hop off now. Oh, down there, okay. Tree frog doesn't want to be in a tree. I can't tell him how to live his life. Alright. Peterson Field Guide to Reptiles and Amphibians of North America. Let's see, I did see this little guy in here. And I remember seeing his picture because he had that very distinct X on his back. And that's him. See the X? I just caught a little spring peeper. What does it say about spring peepers? I'll read it to you. The spring peeper has a dark cross on its back, usually in the form of an X. These small singers form their choral groups where trees or shrubs are standing in the water, or at least nearby. The voice is a high, piping whistle. A large chorus of spring peepers heard from a distance sounds like sleigh bells. Widespread in the eastern and central U.S. And that's just one type of frog out here. There was a bullfrog going off earlier. There's a few different chirps and things, and I don't know if that's a variation that these same little frogs do. I'm going to get out with my headlamp later and see if there are different species of tree frogs out here, because more than likely there are. But it's been very interesting. I got this little field guide, and I go out night hiking and I identify these little salamander species and newts and different things like that. There's a few snakes and lizards I've noted, but yeah, it's just kind of cool. It's a little bit more hands-on with amphibians and reptiles than it is with birds. It's kind of cool that you can get close, hold them, and look at them. So I think I'm really liking this purchase that I did. I've really made the most of it. So worth the wait in the guide.